Hey Crosswatchers for Cancer, this is going to be your video for September 2019. We're going to jump in here and see what's coming up, what you need to know. Guys, keep in mind these are done not in the spirit of spying, not in the spirit of being nosy, but, bringing about information that's going to be in the best and highest good of everyone to know or for beneficial for everyone involved, including and especially for Cancer. So we're going to see what's coming up. If you're a Cancer and you're watching, this is geared toward the Crosswatchers, so it may not resonate with you, or your person may not be on my channel, your person may not be watching these kinds of videos. But again, they are general readings, so they're not going to be 100% for everyone. So let's see, Crosswatcher, what you need to know about your Cancer. September 2019. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, my dears. We have Ace of Pentacles coming up for you in the beginning of the month. This is really, really great. This is really, really great because it's new energy, it's new opportunities, new beginnings. And usually it has to do with finances. So if you've been in a relationship and maybe there's been stress because of finances, you can anticipate or expect that finances are going to be getting better. Or if you know a Cancer who's been very stressed about their finances, or they've been really working on some kind of like a new job or a promotion, there is a really big opportunity coming in for them. Usually, Ace of Pentacles to me signifies a big opportunity, like something big, something that's like big news, a big break. And those of you who watch my videos regularly, or those of you who have had private readings with me, you would have heard me say that, there's some cards that have a little extra meaning for each reader, right? It's readers who've been reading for a long time, there's certain cards that have an extra meaning, and Ace of Pentacles is one of those for me. An Ace of Pentacles is a card that, to me, I see it a lot of the times coming up in a situation where someone is about to break and bust out of really big old-time blocks or periods of stagnation, something where they've been stuck, right? Like an area of their life that's been just stuck forever, or some familial, some people call them generational curses. I don't like the term curse because I feel it's kind of far-fetched, and I feel it's very misunderstood to use the term curse, but I'm going to say that because that's what a lot of people call it, a generational curse, like they're breaking out of that. They're breaking out of those energies that kept them stuck. So it's a really big energy, like chakras opening up, energy improving, coming into a higher vibration, higher frequency, and manifesting something that has been so elusive for so long. It's just something that seemed impossible to manifest. That thing is finally, coming to be. That thing is finally actually happening. So it's a big deal. So an area in where Cancer has been stuck, they're gonna be busting out of that stuck energy, and there's a big opportunity coming their way. As I'm looking on this, I don't know why, but I'm getting the sense or the feeling that someone is doing something in terms of really working towards purchasing property, and something is opening up where this is possible, right? And for whatever reason, for certain ones of you, this has been a big deal for them. Like they just have felt like they can't rest until this happens, or they've been really hung up on this happening. Like they have to purchase property, and something is happening where they maybe thought it was impossible, but they were working towards it anyway, and something is opening up where this is happening. So I am feeling something along those lines, something along the lines of property coming in. And also what's jumping out at me are the roses that they almost seem to me like I know they're like hanging from a vine, but it gives me a sense or a feeling of like showering down or like raining down, and it's making me think of like confetti. So I do feel like something is happening where there's going to be an actual celebration or an actual party. And it could be significant in some way. It's a turning point. And I know these sound very general, but since I've been doing the videos on the channel for about a year, I will get feedback from people where like I'm blown away by how much of it from one reading came to fruition for one person. So I will tell you this, based on the messages I'm getting, this is significant for someone. There's some kind of celebration at which the relationship is being healed, or there's a turning point. There's something that's being healed or coming together through some kind of a celebration. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. Their general readings are going to come about in different ways for different ones of you. But I do feel overall it's something where that was really stuck for a very long time is actually moving forward. The block is being lifted. Sure enough, because our next card here is the Death card. And I know people get very scared when they see the Death card, especially in this deck. I mean, in this deck, it looks very menacing. It's a very intense representation of death, or of the Death card. But I am always very happy when I see this card coming up. And it's not because I'm a dark and morbid Scorpio. I'm really not that dark. But this is the card for Scorpio, believe it or not. So you may be a Scorpio dealing with a Cancer. I was going to say Scancer. I'm making up my own zodiac here. There's Scancers now. You may be a Scorpio dealing with a Cancer, or they may have something significant happening in their life that they're working with a Scorpio through, a partnership, a business partnership, an agreement of some kind that might be very significant or might be benefiting your relationship in some way. But zodiac aside, because you all know I don't like to get too hung up on the zodiac signs in the readings because it can complicate things more than clarify. This is a card of rebirth, of things being cleared away so that new beginnings can happen. And that's why I'm always happy when I see this card, because it's saying that something that's no longer of use, or something that has had its season, is being removed, and like things are never going to be the same again, right? Things are never going to be the same again. And that is a card I pulled for myself very, very frequently when I was going through my career change, and at the time before I even realized I would be doing this full time. That is something that was not my initial plan. Oh, I'm gonna go do readings or even be on YouTube. YouTube was not a part of my plan at all. And again, the Death card is something that kept coming up even before I started doing the YouTube stuff. So I can tell you from my own experience, and from just reading for other people long term over the years, a lot of my clients who've been with me for a long time, I always see good things that happen after this card comes up for someone. This one and 10 of Swords. The two scariest looking cards are the ones that come up before the best things happening. So I do feel that, for some of you, there's a massive transition happening, a massive transition. There could be some of you that are deciding to end a relationship with a Cancer, but if that is the case, I will tell you this. I feel it's happening in a mutual way where it wouldn't be a surprise to you, like you all would have known it was coming. And because it's coming up with the Death card, I feel there's a good chance or a good possibility that the relationship isn't necessarily ending altogether. It just might be ending romantically, where you guys are still carrying on as very good friends, or you just feel like, you know what, I still really love this person, but I'm not in love with them romantically. And there may be a mutual feeling in that way. And you all might be very, very good friends, Those are the kinds of relationships that can be the most complicated, because then you move on and you're in a relationship with somebody new, and they might be like, I don't like that you're talking to this ex, and I'm not comfortable with it, and it can be a headache for you later on when you do move on. But it feels to me like that kind of a relationship, like just somebody that you all have been through a lot together, and even if you decide that you are not going to be together as a couple, I just feel like the relationship is evolving into a higher vibration or a higher relationship where, you know, maybe the romance isn't there and the physical stuff isn't happening anymore, but you all have each other's back and you all have a very, very strong connection, right? A very, very strong connection. And that might be the case for some of you. Not all of you, but for some of you. I don't typically pull clarifiers in the general readings. I'll do the clarifiers in the private readings. But I know some people get really freaked out by this card. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a clarifier for the Death card. What does Crosswatcher need to know about the Death card as it's coming up for Cancer? How does it pertain to them and their connection with Cancer for September 2019? All right. Ooh. So you do have Five of Cups. There may be a little bit of a disappointment for some of you where it's becoming clear to you what the road is going to be or what the path is going to be or like which direction to go in. However, for me, Five of Cups to me feels like a lot of the times it comes up when someone is self-medicating. So that might be the blockage. That might be the thing that Cancer is overcoming. Maybe they've been self-medicating. Maybe they've been somebody that after a hard day, you know, they want to drink, or, you know, the weekend comes around and they want to party with friends. They don't want to think about their problems, or they want to smoke weed, or they want to have sex, or they want to spend, you know, working, you know, 10-hour days at work, or whatever it is. There's like 1,000 different ways that people self-medicate. And you may have felt that this Cancer is running away from their problems, or they're not letting themselves feel. But that Ace of Pentacles coming into that new beginning, that Five of Cups coming into, you know, that Death card energy of like that Five of Cups ending, you may feel like, wow, okay, like I didn't know what I was in for because I didn't realize the changes they were going to be going through, or like what they were going to be doing and how it's going to be affecting the way in which, if you're going to be there, how they're going to need you to be there. So I just don't feel that it's necessarily like all hope is lost, because with Five Cups, you know, there's still 2 good cups. There's 3 cups that have spilled. You got to pick them up. You got to refill them. But don't lose sight of what's good in the situation. Don't lose sight of what's good. Focus on what's good. I do feel some of you Crosswatchers are dealing with a Cancer who is overcoming some kind of an addiction. And you're realizing that, okay, this might not be an easy road to be with this person through this. Like to be beside their side through this. Or some of you Crosswatchers, and some people get very defensive and they get very offended when this comes up, but it's coming up and I have to say it. Crosswatchers, some of you are dealing with a Cancer who might be like telling you that they feel like there's some kind of an addiction that they want you to stop doing, okay? There could be that connection as well. So it's going to be different for different ones of you. These are general readings. There's something very happy happening. There's something very big happening. But like anything else, it's endings and beginnings. They kind of come in. There's a duality to it, right? There's 2 sides of the coin. If you can focus on the beginning part, then the ending part doesn't sting as much. But this is happening for a good reason. This is happening to bring about positive change. The next card here is the Moon. So this is another major arcana card. You guys have heard me say, those of you who watch my videos, when major arcana cards come up in a reading, they tell us that it's a very big crossroads. It's a really big time in your life where you're learning really valuable lessons, or you're coming into your life purpose or your life path and all that wonderful, challenging stuff. But when they come up in a love reading, or when they come up in a reading where I'm looking at, you know, interactions between 2 different people, and I see the major arcana cards come up, they tell me that this is a significant relationship. This is a significant connection, that there's a past life connection, that you all have met for a reason. You did not meet by chance, and you met for a reason, because there's what we call in the, in the metaphysical world, us mystical people, we refer it to as soul contracts. You all have a soul contract. So I didn't get into that with the Death card, and now your next card is yet another major arcana card. So now I'm kind of like being like, come on, wake up, Amethyst, remember this. Like, Spirit is trying to say and trying to bring and clarify here for you all, or for me to share with you all, that there is a soul contract here. There's a reason why you all have met. If we look at the major arcana cards, then that tells me what the soul contract is. If anybody is learning tarot, or if you're trying to learn tarot, I don't want to throw you off and I don't want to confuse you, because this isn't necessarily like a tarot 101 thing. This is the way that I read the cards, and as you read, you will pick up your own understanding, and there will be certain things that mean a certain thing to you. So I don't want to confuse anyone, but when I read, that's what it means to me when it comes up in a reading. And so the Death card is coming up saying you all have a soul contract. The Moon card is coming up and you all have a soul contract. I feel like somebody's being smart and saying, oh, we have a contract to die. No, you don't have a contract to die. If you have a soul contract, that's the Death card, then what it's saying is this is a relationship where neither one of you are going to be the same again. This is a relationship that's changing both of you, that's causing you to evolve and to grow and to come into a new phase in your life. Okay, this could be someone that's showing you truths about yourself you didn't know were there, and might be very difficult, and vice versa, right? But it's helping you all to just kind of have a rebirth and be new and come into like just a better version of yourselves. There's sometimes ego death too involved with that. Like everything you knew or who you thought you were, this relationship may be challenging those things. You may be in a relationship with someone that's challenging your religious beliefs or your cultural beliefs or your priorities, what they used to be, what you thought your deal breakers were. It may be challenging a lot of things about you, about what you knew to be true or what you thought to be truth. The Moon card is telling us that there's a lot of deep emotions here. There's a lot of deep feelings, especially too when you're dealing with cancers. Cancers are water signs, and water signs are very, very emotional. But the Cancer sign is different from other water signs, because the Cancer sign, they're signified or they're symbolized by the crab. They like to just kind of keep it to themselves. They're very emotional, but they're not going to be as expressive. And they like to go and they like to be in their little shell, right? Like their safe little shell, and they don't like to express those things. And so this is a connection, Crosswatcher, that I feel both of you are stirring up very deep emotions in one another, right? And so that can feel a little bit scary, because the Moon card also signifies fear. The Moon card is emotions, it's fear, it's expression, creativity, intuition. It's all of those things. And if you think about it, our emotional health is tied to all of those things, right? We start to recognize the deep buried emotions. We might feel fear and have to overcome that fear. And there might be certain things that need to be healed. And we heal that through what? Through our creativity, through our expression, right? And that links us closer to our intuition, what we feel to be the right path, what we feel to be true. So this could be someone where it's even kind of like connecting you with your spiritual side, with your gifts, with your abilities through this clearing. But I feel like secrets are about to be revealed. This does not mean that you're dealing with somebody who's a dishonest individual, or that somebody's been doing something bad and it's going to come out into the light and they're going to be exposed. That's not what that means. Everybody has secrets, okay? Everybody has secrets. Everybody has things that they don't talk about, things from their childhood, things that they've been through, fears or phobias they have. I don't know, like a lot of people might have like different mental health stuff that they don't walk around and they don't tell everybody, right off the bat. So whatever it is, it's just a lot of different things. And so I feel those are the kinds of secrets that are being revealed. Like, this person might be preparing to tell you things they haven't told anybody else, and you might be preparing to tell them things that you haven't told anybody else. But I feel that this is like just really deep emotional stuff. And I think that you all have met for the reason of uncovering this stuff, of bringing it to the surface so that you can release it and you can deal with it, okay? Some of you, and you're not gonna like to hear this, you're not gonna like to hear this at all, but I have to say it, guys. If I hear it, I have to say it, and I'm hearing it. Some of you are in a situation with a Cancer where I call this the space holder soulmate. And it's not space holder in terms of like in a negative way, that, oh, this person's taking up space, but it's space holder in terms of like if you've ever gone to see a shaman, or if you've ever been like in a shaman circle, and especially if they have like a little fire, if any of you have done like the fire circles or whatever. When you go up to release, like when you go up to release everything that's been hurting you or everything that you want to let go of, and then set your intention for what you want to call in the shaman tradition, somebody stands behind you and holds out their arms and holds space. So it's like they're wishing you good energy. They're like sending good vibes around you. They're bringing positive, calm energy around you so that you can do that, so that you can release and call in what you want to manifest. It's somebody who's being energetically supportive of you in that moment. They're not physically holding your hand. They're not hugging you. They're not like in your ear, like, cheering you on. They're just behind you energetically, creating this space to make this happen, to allow you to express what needs to be expressed, to release what needs to be released, and then to claim what you need to claim about what you want, who you are, where you're headed at this point moving forward. That is what they do when they hold space. And so we have certain soulmates that do that for us. You will know if this is a space holder soulmate or if this is a romantic love soulmate. And sometimes a space holder soulmate can also be somebody romantic. But sometimes their sole purpose is just to help you make that connection. And it's not about being romantic, or it's not about being a relationship situation. It's just their energy makes you feel very safe, and their energy disarms you and helps you to open up. So you'll know if it's a space holder and nothing else, like if it's not meant to be romantic, by the dynamic or the situation you all are in, right? If this person is like your doctor or your dentist or your teacher, or like somebody who's married, or there's certain conditions that make it very clear that this is not a time or it wouldn't be appropriate for you all to be involved together, then that's going to be a space holder type of situation. These come up a lot when somebody's like, why do I feel so connected to this person? I get that question so much. Why do I feel so connected to this person? And, like you all have a certain chemistry. This is someone who is just putting you at rest. There's something about their energy that's putting you at rest. But then as soon as you're at rest, all of this stuff are coming to the surface. Okay, like English is not my first language, but in my native language we have a saying that like I didn't know how tired I was until I sat down, right? Like you're so like on the go, or you're so like you're not always in this energy of trying to be busy and be productive and move forward and live your life, that there's a lot of things you push down. And there's certain people that energetically, it's like when we're in their energy, we don't feel like we have to push anything down. We can just kind of like rest and like relax and disarm. And that's when the things come up and you're like, whoa, I didn't realize all of that was there because I've been so busy living my life. And so a lot of you are dealing with that kind of an energy. Like just being near them brings everything to the surface. And I feel there's a lot about your energy that does this for that person as well. I feel like this is mutual. Okay? But if you're in a situation where this person like is not appropriate for you to pursue, you need to respect that. and you need to respect to keep it just at the space holder level and not try to push it to something more. Okay, I know it can be challenging. I know it's frustrating when you feel that connection and you want something more, but sometimes people appear in our life in a certain way for a certain reason, because it may not be meant in this life to be with them in that way, right? So if they are married, or they are a boss, or someone that has like an authority that would be inappropriate for you to cross, you need to keep it at that level. You need to be respectful of what's being made clear to you at this time. Some of you already hate me for saying that, and I'm sorry, but I have to speak truth, and that's the truth. Your next card is the Hierophant. Okay. So Hierophant could be very much, some of you may be a Taurus. It could be Taurus energy, or your Cancer may have Taurus in their chart. This is, again, and I don't like to get too caught up on the astrology because it can complicate things, but the card in general is about traditions. It's about commitment. It's about truth. It's about contracts. It's about agreement. It's about ethics. And I was just saying how I felt truth was going to be revealed. To have Hierophant come up as the next card, that solidifies it for me right there. The truth is coming out. The truth of the situation is coming out. Now, those of you where you're in a situation where this is a relationship that can be pursued, then it's a situation where the truth is coming out for the purpose of moving forward. Like, I would like to move forward with you, but this is what you should know, all right? Or I would like to move forward with you, but I'm looking for a serious commitment, because Hierophant is serious. Hierophant is like, this is committed energy. Hierophant doesn't mess around, okay? Like, you make a promise, you make a vow. So there could be something coming along the lines for some of you in terms of engagement, or in terms of, exclusive, like making the relationship exclusive and working towards, figuring out what you all want to do. Do you want to get engaged? Do you want to move in together at some point? Do you want to get married? But traditionally, Hierophant would be more of a traditional relationship. It would be like the whole, legal marriage type kind of thing. So some of you might be moving in that direction. Some of you may, Crosswatchers, I have to say this, some of you may be dealing with a Cancer that's really, really getting back into their old traditions, in terms of, like, as they're thinking about their life, and they're thinking about their stability, and they're thinking about their healing, they may be having some kind of, come to Jesus, come to Buddha, come to Allah moment, whatever their belief system is. They may be going back to, the beliefs or the teachings of their childhood, right? Like, if they went to Catholic school, they might, be wanting to, start going to Mass, and they might be, wanting to get involved with the church again. Or if they, had some childhood pastor or reverend or somebody, they might want to start going back to that church. Or they, especially if some of you are in the energy where you're, in a place in your life where you're wanting to establish a family. And if you might be doing this with a Cancer, your Cancer might be going the super traditional route. I'm going to bring up my kids with these beliefs or with these teachings, because that's how I was brought up and that's what I believe, and I want to instill them with that. Or just if it's not about kids, just about themselves, they may be getting really, really traditional. So you need to respect that. If you are on a more mystical path, and if you're more on the path of the whole, yin yang and crystals and tarot readings and things like that, this is not someone who's going to come around to that, all right? They might be more of the energy where they want to pretend like you're not into that stuff, or they want to turn a blind eye to it, or pretend like it doesn't exist. But, you need to respect, because with the Hierophant, this is really engraved in them. And you need to respect that, and that's something you're going to have to know about Cancer if you're going to move forward with them, that you have to accept these more traditional kind of things here. And sure enough, here you've got the Lovers card. You have had 4 major Arcana cards come up. This is a massive connection. This is a massive past life connection. Okay? For those of you where you're in a situation where it's clear that you can't be with this person, the Hierophant would mean you need to respect tradition, you need to respect order. The next card here is the Lovers. And so the Lovers card is about making a choice, making a decision. Some of you may be a Gemini, and your Gemini traits might be coming out here. And so Gemini and Hierophant would be very, very opposite kind of energies. But that doesn't mean it can't work. It just means you need to be aware of that so you know how to move forward with the situations. But, the Lovers card, when it comes up, people get very happy when they see it because they think, oh, yeah, love, romance. But the real meaning, the traditional meaning of the Lovers card is actually making a decision, having to choose, having to pick. And with the Lovers card, sometimes it could be something is like being sacrificed. When the cards first came out, the card wasn't called the Lovers, it was called the choice or the decision. So there's something, Crosswatcher, you're gonna have to figure out what needs to be sacrificed. For some of you, it could be some kind of a vice, it could be some kind of a way of living, but the truth is being revealed, some secrets are being revealed, and something needs to be let go of in order to pursue this connection, right? A way of life, maybe for some of you a belief system, and you have to make that decision, what's worth more to you. I can't make that decision for you. I won't tell you what to do. But this is making a big choice, this is making a big decision. And to have this card come up together here, I do feel like a lot of you are dealing with a person you've known a long time. I don't know why, but it's giving me the sense or the feeling you're dealing with a person you've known a long time. Or you've had many, many lives together where just really immediately you feel like you've known this person a long time. There's something here where you're like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm gonna choose this person. But I feel like there's a lot of other things happening in your life, maybe other options romantically or other paths you could be going down. But there's just this feeling of, okay, here's the truth of the situation. I choose you. I choose this. That's the feeling I'm getting from it. You may want to check out and watch your love reading for September. The love readings for September are already up. I will have a link in the description if you want to check that out. And you may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do. If you click on the Calendly link in the description, I'll take you to my calendar and you can schedule there. And those of you who have not watched your weekly forecasts, please do that. I know we all get really caught up with love life, and we get really caught up with the people in our life that we care about, and sometimes we forget about ourselves. So that's why every single week I have a video for each zodiac sign about their journey, their path, their spirituality, their awakening, their career path, their family relationships, their abundance, all that good stuff. So put it to use. Don't let it go to waste. Make use of that. Don't forget about you. Don't forget about yourselves. So I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, following on social media. I'm really enjoying reading for a lot of you. I've gotten to know so many of you. And I appreciate you being on the journey with me. And I'm wishing you the very best.